A community that shows up. State Member Update by Nicole Werner MP. One of the greatest privileges of being your local MP is the chance to witness up close the extraordinary heart of this community. Over recent weeks, I have had the joy of attending events that remind me time and again why I am so proud to represent the people of Warrandyte. These are just some of the things I have been up to recently, really just a sampling of the many community events and activities across the electorate that I am fortunate to be part of. It's always a pleasure to be part of the Ladies' Day at Warrandyte Football Club, this time with the senior and junior clubs joining forces. The energy in the room captured everything I love about our clubs and our community. At the time of writing this article, our senior women's team sits at the top of the ladder. Events like this do not simply happen. They take months of planning, genuine passion and dedication. I want to offer my heartfelt thanks to Anna, Beck, Nat, Julie, Meg, Zoe and Katie for bringing everyone together and creating such a memorable afternoon. To the many other volunteers working tirelessly behind the scenes, this day was yours too, and the community is grateful for every hour you give. I also want to acknowledge the club's wonderful presidents, Pete O'Reilly and Duncan Lloydell, whose leadership and commitment set the tone for everything these clubs represent. Community clubs like ours are about so much more than football and netball. They build lifelong friendships. They create a place where everyone belongs. And days like Ladies' Day are a beautiful reminder of the extraordinary role women play in making it all possible. Whether you're a player, a coach, a team manager, a committee member, a volunteer, a mother, or a grandmother, our club simply would not exist without you. Here's to what's remaining of the season ahead. Go Bloods! It was also a delight to visit the Year 9 students at Domvale Christian College for their Democracy Project celebration, a wonderfully inventive project that saw students create their own parties, campaigns, posters, speeches and voting preferences. I want to thank Miss Arsenis, Head of Year 9, for the warm invitation and to acknowledge Ms Ringquest, Head of Junior School, and all the dedicated staff who supported the project. Special congratulations go to Claire Cox, who served as Prime Minister in the Students' Model Democracy, and to Ollie Morga, who stepped up as Deputy Prime Minister. Both demonstrated exactly the kind of thoughtful leadership we need more of in public life. I was genuinely impressed by the depth of engagement these young people brought to the exercise. Creating campaigns, developing policy positions, listening to others, and building consensus. That is exactly how democracy works. Politics is so much richer than what appears on the television news. At its best, it is about ideas, teamwork, and genuinely listening to people. These students understood that instinctively. I also had the privilege to spend some time at Domvale Primary School for their Democracy Day, and I am grateful to Principal Ms Rasius and the whole teaching team for creating such a rich learning environment. A particular thank you goes to Mr Robertson, who organised the day and allowed me to take part in it. Some of the best ideas I encounter come not from Parliament House, but from young people who care deeply about making their school and community even better. Listening to the students of Domvale Primary talk about the changes they wanted to see was genuinely inspiring. The next generation of advocates and community leaders is in very good hands. I also had the privilege to join the Domvale Bowls Club for their presentation night. A wonderful evening celebrating the dedication and camaraderie that defines this great club. My thanks to Chairman Ian Bramstead and to all the members who make the club such a vital part of community life. However, it's not just close to home where community spirit is alive and well. I also had the privilege of taking part in the annual Freeze Parliament, joining colleagues from across the political spectrum to raise funds for Fight MND. Collectively, the event raised over $37,000 in support of vital research and services. Inspired by the member for Pakenham, BY MP, who is facing her own fight with the beast, this was the second year of this bipartisan event. We were deeply honoured to have Jan Danaher, the wife of the late Neil Danaher, also attend Freeze Parliament. There was a theme hailing from the tradition of the big freeze at the G, and ours was what you wanted to be when you grow up. Therefore, I chose to dress as a horse rider, inspired by one of my favourite childhood shows, The Saddle Club. I couldn't let the opportunity go by, so I used the event to represent one of our local riding clubs. A very special thank you to Wyena Pony Club in Warrandyte South for generously lending me riding gear so I could properly take part. It was a fun and meaningful way to support an important cause, and I was proud to represent our local community in an event that also received statewide television coverage. It was also a pleasure to take part in the Victorian Parliament's annual Great Debate, which is in its third year raising funds for the Lions Club. I want to acknowledge how much I value the work of the Lions in our community. I recently had the chance to visit the Warrandyte Lions Club op shop with Don Hughes, and it was a reminder of just how much they contribute locally through service and generosity, both locally and across our state. I am a proud supporter of the Lions, and I was grateful that, in a bipartisan way, we were able to raise over $10,000 in support of Lions Assistance dogs, which make a profound difference in the lives of Australians who need them most. The debate takes place annually, with politicians going up against the media, with the politicians arguing the affirmative, that the media works harder than politicians. Alongside a Labor minister and a Nationals MP, I took part in the debate and was proud to take the trophy home for the Pollies. Taken together, these events tell a single story. In Warrandyte and across our state, Victorians are people who show up. They show up to organise, to volunteer, to teach, to coach, to celebrate and to lead. As your local MP and as a proud member of this community, it is my honour to show up alongside you. Here's to many more evenings, afternoons and mornings just like these. Nicole Werner is the member for Warrandyte in the Victorian Legislative Assembly. She can be contacted at nicole.werner@parliament.vic.gov.au. The views expressed in this column are those of the writer and may not reflect the position of the editorial team. This story was read by Rebecca Rose.